as far as getting into the role for the movie Time Twister, it really was like a very cool thing for me, just because I only would do the only thing for the movie picture, just because there wasn't like any simple theater, but I realized born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska, because that's exactly where I was from. And I was only doing this role when that was nearly just because it was for a friend who actually kind of called up my dad and said, "Hey, there's going to be a movie shot. Do you think maybe your son would want to be a part of it?" And so officially I did do it. And so the thing is, it all had started when I was coming out of 10th grade. And when I went back to school, I was like in 11th grade at that time. So the only thing what I do have right now, it is the DVD of the movie. And I would say one thing which was about this movie, it really was the most coolest DVD I had ever would have from, even though for most of those times, which was for our director, Mr. David Johnson, who was our director, of course, he would go, which is like, usually, which is like, well, action. And then he usually say, "Cut! Come on, let's do this again." So it really was the most fun thing I could ever have, and that really did turn out to be the most fun thing that I would ever have for Time Twister. Well, the thing is, for me, which was like right after I was doing the movie Time Twister, it just kind of like it just I would say it really was like the most wildest thing I could have ever done. Because even though for me, which was like starting to be looking like all the way back, but of course I have started to know the kids apparently for a Time Twister. And so when if I were able to look right on back with the DVD here, of course, there's only, you can tell, like, there's only one Patrick, one Chris, one Shiloh, one Paxson, and of course there's one Amy and one Kelsey. So it was really the most simple thing I could ever have. And so right after the film, I just really would have to say is, I just really would have to deny my simple personality when I was like after Time Twister, because I just really wouldn't want to say, which was I just didn't really want to have anything to do with it at all after the movie. And so I just really had decided to deny the money more similar request when that was until I would have, which is like basically children of my own. So what happened? They saw the film. They were pretty interested, and even though for a few seconds after the film was over, I just basically had decided it was time for me, which was like to have a different career. Even though for most people they just obviously really had said was, "Hey, why didn't you stay in the show business?" So I just had to. So I really would say is the thing is, for me, which is like being as an adult, they just kind of decide which was, it really is time when it was like to try to change the career. So that was exactly what I did. Hey, could you give me more envelopes, please? All right. Now, make sure they go into the mailbox, will you? And right now, what I do for a living, I'm a businessman, and of course, I am also like the president of the banks. And there are very simple side reasons about how do I really decide, which was how did I decided to be a businessman. It's because I have my own office, and I just really just love everything about being a businessman, especially being in my office and do like simple things in my office when that was like for bills, banks, checks, money, and paperwork, especially paperwork for the lawyer. And so that was exactly what I did. And I am absolutely very, very proud of it. So, was I really, really that famous for a time twister? Well, I would say the thing is, it's really kind of hard to say, well, I really wasn't really famous. But even though sometimes the thing is, I just really would have to say is, as a child, it was really cool thing for what I had to do, which is like in the past year, doing as a child actor, and right now what I'm doing now in the future, which is I'm a businessman, and absolutely, because I just love it.